This video is somewhat of an experimental video. I'm using a camera that you wouldn't think of using for video. It's an old camera, okay? We're talking almost 12 years old. The D800, the Nikon D800. This particular body I bought at launch February of 2012. 11 and a half, almost 12 years ago. Sure, it doesn't have any, the video, the bells and whistles that we're all looking for. The autofocus doesn't exist. Heck, I'm even using a manual focus lens that's even older than the camera by decades. I'm using a 50 millimeter AI lens, manual focus, 50 millimeter at about f2. I kind of wanted to see how the quality is after all these years of use. Can you use a camera like a D800 for video? There is no EVF. You're going to use the live view display. Mounted the camera on the tripod with that old lens, and I'm recording video at the highest quality possible, which is 1080 at 24 frames per second. The D800 has an awesome sensor, and for its time, I think this camera was way ahead of its time. Really, in 2012, 36 megapixel sensor, still an amazing stills camera to this day. I just wanted to experiment a little bit and see how the video quality is. Is it acceptable for YouTube? We talk about all the new, latest, greatest technology. Today in 2023, video is just amazing on cameras. All manufacturers. The video is just stellar. Now, the D800 was one of the early cameras with DSLR video. I think the first DSLR that had video inside was the Nikon D90. The D4 and D800 launched the same year. Both cameras had video inside. No one used them for video. Actually, well, I didn't. But hey, here in 2023, September of 2023, I'm sitting here making a video with the D800. It just goes to show you that you can pretty much create content with whatever gear you have. So the D800, I've seen guys using this camera in serious video interviews back in the day. One day I was at WPPI, I can remember, and they were conducting photographer interviews with the D800. With the videographer, he was pulling focus, and I had a conversation with him, and I stated that, hey, I have a D800 for my portrait work, and I was amazed that he was using it for video. And he told me that you could be amazed at what kind of amazing sensor the D800 has, and he loves it for video. And this was about 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago. So I'm not expecting much. We're not in autofocus mode because, like I said, the lens is manual focus. But you wouldn't use a DSLR like this. The autofocus would mess around and it'd be junk. So the footage would be trash. Vegas is in the news lately a lot. It reminded me of a gig I had in Las Vegas. Didn't want to really take it. There wasn't much money involved. But I said, hey, I got the gig a week before. I didn't have anything going on that weekend. So I get to Vegas on a Friday. The wedding was on a Saturday. Beautiful wedding. Got paid at the end of the night. Went smooth. New venues that I haven't seen before. So it's pretty exciting, pretty fresh. Pretty excited for my portfolio. This and that. And this was years ago. The night is over. Okay, happy, tired, got paid. We decided to go downstairs. I didn't want to go downstairs. I said, if I go downstairs, I'm going to start drinking. And this is the end of the night, casino nightlife. You know the drill in Las Vegas. Sure enough, guys, I had a few drinks in my system. What happens next? The lights, the glamour, the flash, the noise of the slot machines. That's what happens. I sit down, I say to my friend, I go, you know what? I didn't come here to gamble. I came here to work, make a paycheck, and go home. So I sit down the first $20 in a slot machine, lose that. I tell my friend, I'm only going to gamble $100, and after that, we're going to go drink a little more, and cocktail waitress comes, start drinking a little more, we start having a good time. When the alcohol is flowing, when the noise is going, the music blaring in the background, you get to that point where you gambled $100, you dig in more. You want that $100 back. Like an idiot, another $100. Then you start getting a little upset. What the hell, man? This machine's gonna pay out right now. Another $100, another $100. Anyway, feeling pretty shitty at this moment. You know, I get there for a gig, for a paycheck, and what happens? It turns out I lose the whole paycheck and whatever I brought with me in my wallet as well. Don't go to Vegas. If you're going to go to Vegas and do weddings or gigs, and by the way, Vegas is a great place for weddings. A lot of people get married there. But if you can have control. So I ended up going home with no paycheck, you know, basically work the wedding for free. Keep your money at home. Don't gamble. You're there for a gig. You're there for a paycheck. You know, after that gig, I said, next time I take a gig where there's casinos, I am not gambling one red cent. I don't care. For all you young, new photographers, I've been through it all, guys. I've seen good days, I've seen terrible days. And that gig was one to remember. Go home with the paycheck. All right, guys, the D800, how's the quality? Hopefully it's good. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time here on Vahagraphy, this is where I tell you some stories of my past photography career. And hopefully you learn a thing or two from this old head right here. We'll see you next time. Rock and roll.